International Media TV, television that listens to you.
Hi, I'm Johnny Burrell. Welcome to the program.
Our mental and emotional health is as important to us as our physical well-being. There are agencies that address those concerns, and a number of those agencies joined in celebrating Mental Health Awareness Month and helping those who needed their services to access them. The Walk, Move for Health celebration was held at Oakland, California's Lakeside Park and was sponsored by Alameda County's Behavioral Health Care Services 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign. Health and Human Resource Education Center's Program Director, Cardem Harmon, and Executive Director Colette Windlock coordinated the event. Colette explains.
My name is Dr. Marcus Lorenzo Penn. We are here in Oakland, California at the 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign Walk and Move for Health. And right here I have the Executive Director of the Health and Human Resource Education Center, Colette Windlock. What should we expect today, Colette?
Oh my gosh, Marcus, you can expect a lot of fun today. As you can see, people are starting to come in. We've got walks around the lake that are happening. Behind us, we have a free farm market, which is actually an incentive for people to get up and move. You know, today is really about how are we going to increase people's longevity by 10 years, in 10 years.
Yes, that's the 10 by 10.
Yes, that's the 10 by 10 wellness campaign. We're focused on people experiencing mental health challenges. And the truth is, if you're living, you're probably having some type of mental health challenge, whether it's depression, some type of social anxiety, all of the kinds of things that impact how well we take care of our physical health.
Indeed.
So we just want to really lift that up today.
Indeed. And it's so perfect, as this is a move and a walk and a move for health. We know that a lot of mental health conditions come from a sense of stagnation, not moving, either a thought that needs to move around or just the body that's sedentary. So this is just so perfect.
You know, that's true, because oftentimes depression, it can be something related, you know, organically, but it can also be something that's happening, you know, logically with people, and so we just believe that the more that we come together as a community,
yes,
and making moving for health and walking for health as something that we do on a regular basis, that really we'll see the fun and the benefits of it.
Yes, indeed. And this is one of the first of many more events that will be under the 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign. Is there anything else that we should expect in the coming months?
Well, I think that people should expect us looking at creating a program called Wellness Warriors, and there, with the Wellness Warriors, there'll be health advocates that will actually be helping people to get that annual physical.
Yes.
I mean, how many of us as women, because of depression or whatever's affecting us, we don't get our breast exams? And so we'll be doing the kinds of things to encourage people, you know, to do those things that, particularly around preventative health care.
Indeed. And last, I know that there are, I believe, eight dimensions of wellness that are part of the program. Some of the ones you want to share with some of our audience?
Well, there are 8 dimensions of wellness, and that's partly because, you know, let's deal with the whole person.
Yes.
We're just not one thing. I mean, you can talk about the emotional realm, the spiritual realm, looking at how fit you feel financially. Do you feel like you have enough? Looking at mind, body, spirit. You know, all of those pieces are important for us to feel well.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot to look forward to for today, for the coming months, and thank you for starting off, and I think the audience is really looking forward to seeing what this 10 by 10 campaign has. Walk and Move for Health, Oakland, California.
Thank you, Dr. Penn.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
We are joined here with Michelle Williams-Smith here for the Family Education Resource Center. Tell us about the organization.
Our program is for family members that have a loved one that has a severe mental illness. And what we do is we give information, resource, and support. We actually walk the journey with that family. If they need us, we're there for them.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very special program.
Indeed. And tell us about your capacity with the organization.
I'm a family advocate, and not only a family advocate, but also a family member. So we can actually relate to some of the situations that those family members are going through.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And what does it mean for you to be at one of the first 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign events?
Wellness and recovery. It's very important. We want our family members to understand that there is hope and there is recovery. And we also want our families to know that they need to also care for themselves and make sure that they also go through a wellness situation as well, taking care of themselves.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And how does the sense of empowerment come through your organization? How do you build that empowerment in a lot of the family members?
Information, education, and working with that family so they can understand what their loved one is going through, and also understand what medication, that also the stigma that's going around, and how to also help them to know that they're not alone and that we are there and there are many other people there to give them support and help and to lift them up, keep them walking as well.
Well, I'm so glad your organization is here and that your organization exists. And thank you. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for being here at our 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign.
Thank you for inviting us.
We're joined by Adriana Furuzawa from the BACS program. Tell us about the BACS program.
BACS is Bay Area Community Services, and we work with older adults and with adults with mental health issues here in California since 1969. Yes, we have different programs. We have 5 wellness centers in different cities in the area. We have a program, a brand new program that supports homeless people who need support to get back on their feet. Some of them have mental health issues as well. We have a residence for people who are going through a tough time and need some more time and support to get back on their feet too. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but
now tell us, you're based in Northern California here in the San Francisco Bay Area. What are some of the cities here in the Bay Area that you're involved in?
We are in Oakland, Hayward, Fremont, Alameda, I forgot what, Pleasanton. And we have many services in all these different areas, but many of our services are here in Oakland.
And tell our audience your specific capacity with BACS.
I am the director of one of the wellness centers here in Oakland, and it's a brand new program. We are reinventing ourselves to really support people, make the connection between their whole body wellness and mental health, and how those two things need to go together for a full life.
And so what does it mean for you and your organization to be here at the 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign, Walk and Move for Health?
This is a really major opportunity for us to support our people in making that connection. It's well known that people who deal with mental health issues, they're dying 10 years earlier than people who don't. And here, we are all out here doing something in real life that means taking care of ourselves.
Very empowering. I'm so glad your organization is here with us, and so glad to celebrate and help kick off our 10 by 10 campaign. Thank you, Adriana.
Thank you as well.
I'm joined here by Reverend Dr. Jasper Lowry here at the 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign. Tell us what brings you here.
Well, what brings me here today is that I have colleagues that have mental health issues that I've been supporting for over 15 years, and we're all still together.
I love it. I love it. And you are over the Rojas Community Services. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it started out as a ministry, Rojas Ministries, which is actually a mental health model ministry that's sort of like undiscovered, but yet they know the works. But Rojas Community Services is a community resource network with an emergency housing component.
I love it.
And it just provides for individuals and meets them right where they are and get them to the resources that they need to survive in today's economic situations.
Beautiful. We all can use a little bit of help.
Yes,
you
sir.
know?
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Lowry, there's a music group. I believe their name is Purchased, and they have a little background that kind of pertains to our event here.
Purchase has been a piece of work. Purchase came to me dealing with everything from, first of all, the military. We have veterans in that group. And from veterans, we also began to deal with being clean and sober. So there was some issues around drugs and alcohol. And then from there, I mean, the broken family piece, and then just dealing with the backlashes from those things, which led into some mental challenges. So that was the work in itself while we kept the group together.
Well, I believe that our audience is going to be able to see this group purchased. They're going to be performing at our 10 by 10 Walk and Move for Health. So let's have folks look forward to that.
Yes,
Thanks so much, Dr. Lowry.
All right.
Only what you do but nice will last. Only what you do but nice will last. Yeah, yeah. You do but nice will last. Did you know now that you may own a house upon a hill? You make a gentleman up and we get dollar bill. Only what you do but nice will see you through. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're joined here by Katera Aslami of the Peers organization. Tell us about Peers.
Thank you. Well, Peers is, what we stand for is Peers Envisioning and Engaging in Recovery Services, and we are what is known as a consumer-run organization, which means it's people that have lived experience with mental health challenges and are in recovery and wanting to give back to the community and empower other people who have lived experience with mental health challenges and give hope.
Hope indeed.
Yes.
And your specific capacity?
I am the executive director at Peers, yes.
Yes, indeed. And what does it mean for you to be a part of our 10 by 10 wellness campaign here today?
Well, this is a really great collaboration. The 10 by 10 wellness campaign is about promoting whole health and bringing the mind and body together and talking about resiliency. And then what Peers does is we run Alameda County's social inclusion campaign to eliminate mental health stigma and discrimination. And that is, according to the 1999 Surgeon General's report, is the most formidable obstacle in health and mental health. So when we want to talk about creating wellness in our communities, we have to address stigma and discrimination. So it makes perfect sense for collaboration of the social inclusion campaign and the 10 by 10 wellness campaign to bring people together and promote wellness, whole health, and empowerment.
Indeed, and with wellness, it's important as physicians like myself and the mental health providers as well to be in a more synergy, much greater synergy. And how has your organization helped to be a part of that synergy of the medical and mental health community?
Yeah, so we use one of the tools that we use is called Wellness Recovery Action Plan. And that is about bringing people together and creating a tool. It's a tool to help people create action plans to deal with challenges in life, whether it be health, whether it be mental health, whether it be, problems in relationships, trying to get a job. Like, what are your action plans to achieve the goal you have, to achieve wellness? And then the support, so it brings people together, it gives support, and it creates an environment where people aren't judged and they're accepted. So being able to be in an environment like that allows people to take the responsibility to open up about wellness and not be told, but really to look inside, internal, and find those wellness tools, those resources, help them in their health and their mental health. And just like, for example, today, it's all these activities are what we call wellness tools in RAP, and it's about mind and body resiliency, and bringing that together is a natural thing, and it's necessary.
Indeed. Self-acceptance and self-love, self-appreciation, and self-empowerment.
Yes.
That's why we're here today. That's why everyone's come together. And just glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Indeed. Thanks so much.
My pleasure.
So I am joined here with Reverend Monique Tarver. We're here again at the 10 by 10 Walk and Move for Health. Reverend Monique, tell us how this has more of a personal connection for you.
Well, I just recently lost 77 pounds. Yay, me. And most of that came from walking. I have to say that as a former self-proclaimed nature hater, I was really astounded by the fact that I, along with all of the nature lovers that we've actually surveyed here in Alameda County, was really impacted about what walking and being in nature did, not only for my mental, emotional, and spiritual health, but then the benefits that we also know that it has, the great impact that we know it has positively for physical health. So I'm very excited to be here today, to be celebrating wellness as a whole, but then to be moving and showing that connection to moving out in nature and moving period and what it has for our health and our wellness.
Yes, indeed. You know, I know there's a lot of research that shows the importance of being in nature, seeing trees, seeing all the abundance, the green, and how that can affect one's mood. And so it's so perfect that our 10 by 10 event here is kicking off here in Oakland, California. We have a lot of people coming together and just all in the name of health, you know. How have those wellness principles played more a part in your life?
For one, I have to say that I am one of many individuals throughout and across the state that recognize that not only is wellness important for us to have those wellness tools that we know we take part in from a mental health and a medical perspective, but also there is a heavy reliance on my faith, my connectivity, my spiritual path, and what that does for me mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So personally, I really feel like it's important that we are creating an environment for everybody, no matter what their path is, no matter what they personally ascribe to or their personal philosophy, but that we're creating avenues in which we're supporting those things and those avenues where people connect to their wellness and their health. And we're coming alongside that and building those healthy collaborations. So I think it's very powerful, this partnership we have, not only with public health, mental health, but then the faith and spiritual communities as well.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you so much for being here, sharing your story, and helping people move from one place to another. That's the 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
With news about suicides much more in the news lately, it's important to have crisis support services. And so I'm here with Matt of Crisis Support Services of Alameda County. Tell us about the organization and what you provide.
Yeah, sure. So our agency provides, what we're mainly known for is our crisis hotline, which is a 24/7 hotline. It's a free, confidential phone call for people who are maybe suicidal, also for people who have to be suicidal to call. It's just talking briefly with a trained counselor about whatever's going on for you for that day, and hopefully finding out what you're going to do for the rest of your day to make your day a bit better.
Now, we know that these are tough economic times here in the United States. What are some warning signs to look for suicides, people who may be thinking about that? What's to look for?
Well, for suicide, there's feelings and there's actions that people do. And so I'd focus on a couple things people feel. First, people could feel hopeless, helpless. They could feel lonely or isolated. They don't belong, or maybe they're a burden to other people. Things you can watch out for is if people are actively talking about it, directly or indirectly, thinking about death, getting closer to death in one way or another, whether that's the means or just more preoccupation on it. So those are some basic one can watch for in terms of if someone might be suicidal.
And with the specific capacity that you serve, how do you see being a part of the 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign? How is that going to help you to speak to that next person you may talk to?
Well, I think it's important to be able to be accessible to a lot of people, and so people, including myself, know that talking about suicide and depression, it can be a very scary thing for people, but a lot of people are impacted and a lot of people suffer. So just knowing that it's okay to talk about, and there are places to go for help where there's trained people who can hopefully give somebody a sense of hope in a difficult time.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of the campaign, being here today, and for what you do.
All right, thanks.
Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you. I'm joined here by representatives from the Asian Community Mental Services. We have Esther Chow here. Tell us about the services you provide.
Asian Community Mental Health Services was founded in 1974 to address a great need in our community. That is the newly arrived immigrants who do not speak English fluently. They still need services, especially those struggling with mental illness. So over the 38 years, we have been able to develop services for all ages, from children to adults, and also from prevention to treatment. And we're thankful that our bilingual staff actually speak 12 Asian languages.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I believe you work with some new emerging communities, and is that your capacity there, Sun Sun?
I'm a Burmese and I work with the Burmese community because their language is limited, capabilities are limited, and they have been coming here since 1994, some because of political reasons and some from the camps in the Thai border. And the language capacity given by Asian community mental health is very, very important for these people.
Oh, thank you. And it's so important to have wellness be a part of all cultures. How do you see the 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign aligning with your goals?
Very much aligned. Actually, I'm a member of the 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign Steering Committee, and that's why we're here today. And part of what I do is the project director of API Connections, which is a prevention project, early intervention project that is funded by the Mental Health Services Act and is relatively new and targeting the underserved and unserved communities of our county. And you know, according to the 2010 census, actually Asian and Pacific Islanders compose of 27% of Alameda County. And that has become the highest, quote-unquote, minority groups in our county. Yet it's so diverse, over 40 languages and distinct ethnicities.
Well, it's so important to have you in the community and also of the 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign. So glad to have you on the steering committee, and let's continue to enjoy ourselves and advocate for mental health awareness.
Thank you.
I'm joined here by Janae Darden of Peers, and she is the coordinator for the media and marketing part of the organization. You know, as we're here for mental health, in this segment, we're going to talk about a lot of the stigma, the words that carry a lot of stigma behind them for those in mental health. You know, crazy, a quack, seeing a shrink. In your capacity, how do you help to nullify some of those stigmas?
Well, basically what we try and do is we just try and encourage people to use different type of language, more people-friendly language. So instead of saying, you know, maybe someone's crazy, like you know, some of the words you use, or insane or nuts, you know, maybe say that someone has a mental health challenge, maybe they have a mental health issue. I mean, because the thing is that so many people have mental health challenges. I believe it's 1 in 5 in California. So, you know, it all affects us all. I mean, it's just like anybody that has cancer, they get treatment. Nobody talks about them. Nobody says something negative about someone that has diabetes. You know, that's just the challenge that they have, a physical challenge, and they need to be cared for and take care of themselves. And that's what happens with people that have mental health challenges. They just need to be taken care of. And using that kind of language actually isolates people and actually causes them not to get the help that they need, because it's stigmatizing them.
So do you have programs out there that go directly to, say, the medical community to help, you know, increase their knowledge about some of the words that are best to be used in the mental health community?
So we pretty much work with the community in general, and so providers are definitely welcome, and we do interact with providers as far as educating them on, you know, different language to use. We also have a program called the Communities Program, which we're doing in Alameda County, where we're reaching out to businesses in Alameda County as far as how to be more sensitive to people with mental health challenges, whether it's their employees or whether it's their customers, the people that they serve. And then for our media program, which is one of the programs that I head up, what we're doing is that we track the media, which is very powerful, to see how people with mental health issues are portrayed in the media. Often, if you're watching TV show and the news, usually when mental health comes up, it's because someone has some kind of mental health challenge, whether it's bipolar disorder or schizophrenia or severe depression. Maybe they've killed someone or harmed someone, and that's usually the images that you see. And that's not true for everyone that has mental health challenges. People with mental health challenges are actually more likely to be victims of violent crime than to be perpetrators of violent crimes. So we try and spread the message that people with mental health challenges, live everyday lives, our mothers, our parents, they have relationships, they have jobs, and that you can function with the mental health challenge. Of course you need support. Of course, you need help, but just like I said earlier before, just like people with HIV, just like people with cancer, just like people with diabetes, they need help too. So just being sensitive and respectful and treating them just like anybody else in the community.
Now we're here today to bring awareness to all communities about mental health for this 10 by 10 Wellness campaign. And so I'm joined here by Elsa Gutierrez. What would you like to share to our Spanish-speaking community?
Well, Dr. Penn, thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I think it's really important. Es importante que nosotros tratamos de apoyarnos. It's important that we bridge that gap with the Latin community and allow them to benefit from all these resources. It's importante como Hispana, I'm being Hispanic myself, to go into my community and let them know that these things are there for them. And being Latin and in that culture, sometimes it's very difficult for us to voice our needs. So it's important that we have that compassion to speak for them and help them get into that right, mindset where they can change their life. And change. Mental illness is a stigma. You don't have to live like that. No tienes que vivir con esa mentalidad con esas tramas. Hay ayuda y hay apoyo. Es importante como en la comunidad. Being Hispanic and being part of this culture, all these cultures all around me today. Blessing to cross that gap and to bring everything together and just to know that, estamos apoyando la comunidad hispana. Me with Latin Radio, Conexión Latino, that is my heart, to just bridge that gap and help the Latin community find these resources. It's a strong culture. I love being Latin. We're very strong, but our worst, thing about us is we don't speak up. And sometimes, those of you who have people that are Hispanic and they're hurting, speak up for them a little bit. And that's what I do.
No, thank you so much. And it's so important to bring wellness to all of our communities and also bring the cultural component of wellness. Could you speak to that, the cultural component of wellness within the Latin community?
Es muy importante como la cultura. Our culture, we've always kept everything within the family. And that's we're seeing it's destroyed a lot of, good people who haven't been able to get into their gifts and do what they were called for, because we're all very talented. Como la cultura de Hispana tenemos esa costumbre de mantenernos en la familia, no buscamos ayuda o no hablamos. We don't speak out, we don't, as a culture, we tend to keep it in the family. And sometimes family is not enough. La familia se cansa. We get very tired of dealing with issues with mental illness, pero hay ayuda, there is help. And it's important to know that. And that's what this whole process of the Wellness 10 by 10, peers, all these organizations all around here, estamos aquí para apoyar la comunidad hispana, la comunidad in general, just to bridge that gap and help one another.
Indeed, it's so important that we all come together. I appreciate, and we all appreciate, the advocate that you are, the voice that you are, and the bridge that you bring to the Latin American community.
Well, I thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thanks so much. We've been speaking to a number of adults today, but we want to bring the children, the youth, into the picture. And so I'm here with Adimu of the EPIC program here in Alameda County. Tell us about EPIC, Adimu.
Well, EPIC is a agency, stands for Environmental Prevention in Communities, and we work in Sobrani Park with youth at Madison Middle School and also at the Reform School Church with the older kids, 14 to 21. And the main thing we work with them on is how to survive in an environmentally challenging community. And what I mean by that is living in a community where there's food deserts, living in a community where there's a lot of environmental factors and can prevent you from reaching their full potential. And so just trying to work with them on understanding who they are and really dealing with the hurdles that's in front of them in a positive way that doesn't put them in a setback in life, and how to mentally do that, and how to do that through different forms of meditation, of goal setting, of focusing on school, of dealing with family, of learning how to learn, and really just being the best they could be.
Right on. Now, you bring a worldview to working with youth. Tell our viewers about that.
Well, one of the most wonderful blessings that I can have is I've been a person that's been able to really travel the world. And before I moved here to Oakland, I was living in Johannesburg, South Africa, and Lesotho, Southern Africa, working with youth and just having a wonderful opportunity to learn and work from youth in a different community. And I tell you what, living over there in Africa is seeing families and communities with literally nothing but being happy really taught me a lot. And if they can be happy and strive towards better in an environment that really has nothing and has been completely depleted, that's something that I can bring back to youth here and really let them focus on the blessings that they do have as opposed to reaching for things that are out of their reach.
Beautiful. We need more brothers like you in the community, in the world community. So I thank you for being here with the 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign, and keep doing what you do.
Hey, I definitely appreciate it. It's a beautiful day out here, and I'm definitely blessed to be here and definitely blessed to be working with the youth in Oakland, California.
Thank you so much. We're joined here by Sergeant First Class Jeremy Carr of the U.S. Army. Sergeant, share with us what wellness means to the military. We have a lot of folks coming back from Afghanistan and Iraq. What does that mean to the military?
As far as the military goes, wellness is a really big thing for all branches, and no matter what our jobs are. A lot of folks, like you said, are coming back from overseas and coming from different missions, and it's extremely important that we put a large emphasis on making sure that soldiers take care of themselves and their families. A lot of times, a lot of folks have pride and they don't want to seek out that help that they need, and we really promote the no stigma associated with receiving any kind of help like that. So we try to make sure that that's all right and it's available for everybody, and everybody can continue on. Sometimes we take care of our bodies just like anybody else, but we got to take care of our minds and hearts and all that good stuff at the same time.
Indeed. No, we really appreciate having the U.S. Army represent at our 10 by 10 Wellness event, and it's all communities that we're looking to bring awareness. We know the military is a part of the large community, and we know how much stress that our military is under. So what would you like to say in relation to our 10 by 10 Wellness Campaign in honor of the military and the U.S. Army to share to the other military family that may be watching?
As far as we go, we're happy to be here and we're happy to be a part of this event. We try anytime we can to participate in anything, especially when it promotes good health, mental health, physical health, whatever the case may be. And it's important to us to make sure that we spread that message as well. So anytime we can jump in with a community event, it's important. You know, on behalf of all of our other soldiers and that are abroad or other places in the country, you know, this is our part to get out in these local communities and you know, do what we can to help out and support.
No, thank you so much for being here. We know that the world community, our United States community, really appreciate your presence and advocating for us. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you.
There's an action plan you can comprehend. It's a way of life. There's no limit to the things that you can do. Hope is the prize, wellness for life, wellness for life, wellness for life, wellness for life.
Beautiful. Well, we are here with the group Purchased, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves and just say what's been so powerful to connect you with your group.
Wow, my name is Harry Caldwell, singer-songwriter, and it's just that being able to get the message across through music. Found that music is one of those suggestive type things that causes people to give ear, per se, and we just love spreading the message.
Love it. Thank you.
Yeah, I mainly enjoy bringing joy to people's hearts and give them a hope for something better than all the chaos and things that's going around, you know. And I just thank my God for bringing me this far and further if I have to.
And share everyone your name.
I'm Horatio Finley.
I'm Will Garrett, and I'm compassionate behind mental health because I'm the medical coordinator for Rojas Community Service, which specializes mentally and physically disabled, and I have a passion for it, and my music takes me to a different height. That's my message.
You know, we have 8 dimensions of wellness within the 10 by 10 campaign, and as I said, I think we need to add a 9th. I think it needs to be singing, you know? I think that's what we need. Thank you all for being here, and it's all about wellness for life. That is just so powerful, so I thank you all. Thank you. So as we come to a close for our 10 by 10, we want to bring the youth back into the picture, actually more specifically the transitional age youth. And that's a specific program, and we have the coordinator, Bree Williams. Tell us about the program.
So the Transition Age Youth Program is a program for youth who are from ages 16 to 24 who have been in either the mental health, foster care, or juvenile justice system. And basically what we do is we're vital components for the delivery and development of TAY services in Alameda County. The TAY initiative itself is like an evolvement of an older group called the TAY Advisory Board, which started about 4 years ago, and the TAY initiative is just now becoming a year old. And we have meetings, we go to conferences, we speak at conferences, we get certified trainings, we go around the community and we really advocate for mental health services and stigma eradication.
Indeed. No, definitely appreciate what you guys have going on. I believe we have Ms. Parker who wants to share a little something about how the TAY has really just affected you and helped change your life.
The TAY initiative has changed my life by allowing me to share my story and the that I've dealt with. It helps me gain friends, have something to do that is positive to help other people that's dealing with challenges as well. So I really enjoy the Transitional Age initiative.
Indeed. Well, I must say that you guys are just looking so good, you know. I wish I was back in my transitional age so I could look as good as y'all. But thank you guys all for being here, being a part of the 10 by 10 Wellness campaign, and just representing yourselves. You know, we all have a story, and you guys are representing it well, so I appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, Colette, we've come to the end of our walk and move for health. What feelings? What are you feeling right now?
Well, I just know it's been a great day. It's been a wonderful day. People moved, they laughed, they had fun, they shared real stories, and I think we're done.
There we go. Wellness for life, 10 by 10 Wellness campaign, walk and move for health. Let's walk and move. Let's go.